How's it going, guys? Nathan from Nathan's DIY Garage, and today we're working on the E53X5. So we're down to reassembling some of the rest of the stuff on this thing, and we'll be ready to go. Now, to be precise, we need to reinstall the air box, the windshield wiper tank, and we need to put the brackets back on that hold the coolant tank and the oil filter housing. And then under the hood, other than putting the plastic back on top, we're pretty much done with it. It's still starting to running good. Now, we have a problem with the power steering pump. So the power steering pump, which I just took off, which is right here, this is a different pump for the 4.4 than it is for any of the 6-cylinder cars. And what we figured out is that, I'm guessing what happened, you have to be very careful with these when you put them on. And you have to make sure that the bolts are tight, everything is right with it, and we did. But I think where our downfall was, when we put the engine back in this X5, the power steering pump is hanging down, and I'm guessing that one of these brackets has gotten hit, and then it went ahead and sheared off the other one. It ran for a little while with the pump, hit the gas a few times, and it just came apart. So there's going to be a few things with this you're going to want to look for on these, and this is a really common issue. A lot of guys say they replace the pump, and a couple months later it breaks again, even doing all the bolts right. So we just ordered another one today for it. They're about $100 for a used or a new one. Obviously, we just went and got the new one for it. And when you put these 13s in, these go in from the bottom. So this is the bottom of the pump here, and obviously they go on. Well, that goes on right there, just like that. This other one goes on here, just like that. And it has, you know, they're two pretty tall aluminum legs. They're not very thick. They're pretty thin, and it's just cast. It's not machined aluminum. And so you have that, and on the top you have another bracket. See if I can spin it around here for you. It's hard to do one-handed. You have another nut that goes on right here. Then you have this other nut. It's like a thumb screw nut that snugs down against the other bracket. Then you tighten this down. Then this one doesn't have any push and rubber lines or two banjo fittings coming from the tank up here, and they go down to it. So you gotta make sure when you reinstall these that you have both of the crush washers on it. I'm trying to make this thing focus. My hand's all dirty. There we go. When you saw the banjo fitting, the symptoms of this are it'll throw the belt, and if it's starting to get loose, a lot of people will complain of real harsh vibration. And come on, are you gonna focus? There we go. Real harsh vibration before it snaps all this off. So if you have an E53X5, you're having vibration, check that. Check the fan clutch. A lot of times the fan clutch will actually disintegrate on the inside, the bearing will go bad, and it'll be out of balance. But that's not all. So the other problem is this is a 2001 or 2 X5. The pumps were the same from 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. In 2004, they changed the pump. Now, if you had the IS model X5 with the 4.6, that's even different yet. I don't know when they changed that. Chances are you don't have that model. They're super rare. So at that point in time, you got to make damn sure when you order this thing, you get the right one. Now, another trick of it, you know, from 96 to 98, the 540s and the 740s had a pump that was almost identical to this. They're only 50 bucks. It looks like it'll work, but after very close inspection, instead of the side port, you had to have to unscrew this out of the side, put this in the back, put the plug in the side. But then after looking further yet, this thing here is in a different location. But it looks like by the picture that the tabs that are broken off were slightly spaced different also. So that bolts to the front timing case. That means that the non-Vanos and the Vanos lower timing chain case is probably slightly different. And that's the problem with these 4.4 liters, is they made them so many years But from the X5, get this glove off. From the X5 to the E39 540 to the E38 740, there are so many tiny differences that a lot of this stuff is not interchangeable. Now, this engine is from a 540. If you guys saw that swap video or not, you look back to my videos and search M62tu, and you saw we pulled the whole cradle out of this X5. We did the whole swap, did everything. You know, everything's back together now. And basically the timing chain case, the upper and lower oil pan, the valve covers are all different. Yeah, because this one has a battery. These are actually the covers off the 540. The X5 has a battery terminal there. On the 540, it's on top of the valve cover. This one is not. As far as that, your timing, your oil pump chain is different. Your oil pump is different. The sump's different, you know, deepness. Much deeper for the X5. The X5 holds 8.1 quarts. I think your 540s was still under 7. And so other than that, they're pretty much all the same. You can do a swap on these, but man, it's a monumental amount of work. So if you're going to replace the 4.4 in an X5 or the 540 or 740, 540 and 740 is pretty much the same. You can switch those back and forth. The X5 is all by itself. So don't get yourself into what we had to deal with this thing. From putting the 540 engine in this, it was just so much extra work. All the engine mounts are different. Everything's different. So this thing's on order. It should be here. We also have a CV boot for it on order. We have our exhaust band, stainless steel band clamps where we cut the exhaust. We're going to install those and show you how to do it also. And we have airbags on its way here. And we have some brand new tires. And these tires are pretty much totally gone. We bought this and it's been sitting. Look at the dry rot checks in that. I kind of like to be able to drive this thing around the block to verify the transmission is good, because we haven't driven it. It was totally blown up when we got it. And hopefully those are good enough to at least go that far with it. And the only thing that hasn't been ordered yet is the tires. We're ready to do that, but I kind of want to make sure the transmission is good before we go ahead and go to that extent. And also the 135 was returned to the owner. I did that a couple days ago. I haven't put a video up in about 3 days. He said it's doing fine, no coolant leaks, no problems. I instructed him just keep eye on the coolant level. We did so much to that car, make sure nothing's leaking, you know, as they drive it daily, especially the first week or two. So far, no issues. But that's it. I guess I'll call this video the BMW X5 engine vibration problem and broken power steering pump issue video. So that's it, guys. I want to wish you all a happy new year. Thanks for watching the videos, and stay tuned for more BMW videos. Thanks for watching.